I just hit a really low bottom, like spiritually and emotionally. I knew I had a problem with alcohol. I knew it was never chill. It was never chill when I was drunk.
All right, my name is Isabel Donnelly. Welcome to The Sober Spill. Today I'm here with Rivkah Reyes, actress, musician, your favorite sapphic queen on TikTok. You're the reason I know that word.
Sapphic.
Yeah.
It's a good word.
No, it's a good one. Yeah, it's important to have. But
how would you describe that word to your listeners?
Gay. In like a yearning way? Does that feel
Lesbian.
good?
Like anything like about a girl liking another girl, that's sapphic. Yeah.
Okay. And so for the people that don't know you outside of those things, how would you describe yourself?
Well, yes, I am an actor, musician, TikTok queen, Instagram icon, gay legend, and I also am a line dance diva. I teach 2 weekly parties in New York and DJ as well. And I am a person in recovery from a lot of things.
DJing. I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, like line dance DJing is kind of different, but I also DJ in the normal way as well.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah.
And it's crazy doing all that sober, too, because I feel like a lot of people associate that with a very different kind of scene.
Nightlife.
Yeah.
Well, New York is kind of built on nightlife. And when I moved here, immediately like immersed myself in that culture. A lot of my sober friends run events that are not sober, but they just happen to be able to do it soberly. And I was doing that a little bit in LA at a lesbian bar called Honey's, and I hosted a bi-monthly party for the full moon and the new moon where I would DJ and host, and it was extremely lucrative. So I was just like, yeah, I'm going to start my own event in New York. And like pretty much a month after I moved here, one of my friends who had also recently moved from LA, who was in the line dance community, was approached by Desert 5 Spot, which is a bar in Williamsburg with a mechanical bull and a big wooden dance floor, to start hosting line dancing there. And she was just like, I want you to run it with me. And at first I was like, I don't know if I am like qualified to teach line dancing. Like I've only been doing it for, at that point I had only been doing it for a little over a year, and I didn't know as many like advanced level dances, but I learned a lot through teaching. It's kind of like mentorship or coaching or sponsoring, like where it helps the person that you're coaching or sponsoring or teaching or mentoring, but it also helps you as the teacher, mentor, sponsor, coach.
No, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm sure therapists feel that way too. They like give advice and then they're like, wait, I needed to hear that too.
Yeah, sometimes when I'm working with a client, I'm not a therapist by any means, but we run like PHP groups and stuff. I'll be saying something and I'm like, oh, that's good. I should like document that
Write
for
it
later.
down.
Yeah, catalog that. And so when you do a lot of sober events now, when did you get sober?
I got sober in 2017. My official sobriety date is December 10th of 2017. After a slew of many failed attempts at sobriety, and about a year of like dishonest sobriety where I was claiming sobriety, but still, I think a handful of times I smoked weed, and like once or twice I did pills that were not prescribed to me. But then I just kind of hit this point of being like, yeah, it doesn't feel good to be claiming sobriety time and taking chips when I know I like smoked weed a week ago, And so pretty much to like the day of my last drink, I, a year later, smoked weed one last time with my sister and was just like, all right, tomorrow I'm going to reset my day count. And so there it is.
Was that still causing dysfunction in your life even after you put down?
No, not really. Like, not really at all. I'm going to be honest. Like, it just was causing inner turmoil for me because I had this, like, as they say, like a head full of AA and a a belly full of not beer necessarily, but like a head full of A and simultaneously high on pot. So like I knew, and I always would be like, well, yeah, like pot wasn't really my problem. Like I was never really that big of a stoner, but I did the last couple of years of my using, I would smoke weed every day so that I could like fall asleep after doing a bunch of coke and drinking all night and having like the just insane like intrusive thoughts that I was having and the paranoia, and smoking weed to like knock myself out. And kind of for a while there I was like trying to concoct the perfect potion of substances and mixing alcohol, coke, weed, pills, etc. Accidentally meth once.
That's
crack,
everybody accidentally
crack
meth
on
at some
purpose
point.
once. Yeah, I was just like, what happens if I smoke it? You know, because
let's
I
find
love
out.
to snort it, but let's find out. And then I was just like, oh, this is good. But then I was just like, I don't think crackhead is like in the cards for me.
No, that's never been cute. Like there's never been a point in time where people
Coke
have
is
caught
cute. Coke is like glamorous, and then
Sexy,
like
yeah.
when you smoke it, it's like, and now I'm a crackhead.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to really look in the mirror and go,
Yeah, lines in the sand.
lines, honey, lines, lots of lines of lots of things. And now we've pivoted from snorting lines to dancing them.
There you go. It's a full circle.
Yeah.
Right. When did the use start for you?
Well, my first drink was I was at the Toronto Film Festival, brag, when I was 11 for the premiere of a feature film that I was in called School of Rock. And me and some of the boys from the band, like, grabbed some little champagne flutes and were sneaking around and stuff. And I felt kind of the classic, like, immediate sense of ease of, like, unzipping and, like, being able to, like, be in my body after being a very, like, anxious and, like, hyper self-analytical child. You know, I was always, like, looking in the mirror too long and judging my face and my body and like, having that, like, champagne and feeling fancy and being all around all these adults and, like, being like, ooh. I looked in the mirror that night and I was just like, pew, like, yeah, you got this. You're going to be okay. And then in high school is when things kind of really started to take off and get dysfunctional. I knew I had a problem from maybe the like third time I got drunk. I blacked out really hard. I was at like a person's party at their house, and like, yeah, I was like a junior in high school, and at that point I'd already started smoking weed. I dated like the school like weed dealer.
It's good economics. Like, it's smart to do.
Yeah, I never paid for it. I actually rarely paid for drugs, which was like another reason why I used for as long as I did.
Being a girl,
Yeah,
like,
well-
that can be that. I mean, it comes with 1,000 downfalls,
Yeah,
and dangers and traumas.
totally.
But, yeah,
but,
there also
yeah.
is that side of it too.
Yeah. But yeah, I blacked out really hard and you know, don't remember much aside from my dad like having to come into this party and carry me down the stairs, and then like him screaming at me the entire ride home, and then making like my 12-year-old at the time sister like hold back my hair while I threw up like tequila and red Gatorade like in the toilet, and like, yeah, just waking up with like the most violent hangover the next day and being like, oh no, this is not normal, because I don't remember drinking that much that night. I don't know whether I was drugged or something, but I was always a lightweight. In fact, when I was between my freshman and sophomore year of high school, I was given the nickname the 2-beer queer, because I would drink 2 beers and then like ask my girlfriends to like make out with me. And that was like another layer of it where I was like, oh, like alcohol makes me gay, and I like can't be gay.
I always love that. You're like, oh no, don't make me. Alcohol makes me gay.
Alcohol makes me queer, so I can't.
Yeah.
And so I avoided it for, you know, a little while, but then it got unmanageable, like pretty much right away when I was in high school. The second half of high school, I was failing out of classes. I was skipping class to go get high. I was, you know, getting in trouble with my parents all the time. I was always grounded. Like I was kind of, my reputation was to-be or queer, and she's always grounded, so she can never like go out with us. But I would sneak out. I would, you know, go get in cars with like random like kids from like other high schools to be taken to a party where my crush was going to be. And like, and then getting home at like 4 in the morning and like sneaking back in. And yeah, like going to school the next day violently hungover a lot. Um, Drinking in class. Like I would get those like big cans of Arizona iced tea and spike them with vodka. And I miraculously somehow graduated from high school.
What was the GPA?
It was not great. It was not great. I didn't get into many good colleges. And then I ended up going to a state school in Chicago for theater undergrad. And that was, you know, party city. I mean, theater kids know how to throw a party, and there's always like weird hookups and a lot of just drinking, like binge drinking. And when I was in college, I started doing improv as well. And so I was like training at IO and Second City, these kind of revered places to learn how to do improv, in the hopes that like one day Lauren comes to watch your SNL audition. And I was kind of on that track. I was like doing all of the things and taking all the classes and writing sketch and performing in reviews at Second City. But I was also doing a bunch of coke with my improv teammates before the shows. And like I remember the first time I did coke was right before my like Second City Conservatory graduation show with a couple of my classmates, and the director was like, whatever you did in that sketch was so good, Rivkah, like do that every time. And I was just like, okay.
Note taken.
And I had a couple of experiences like that with performance where I was in a musical and I had drunk 2 PBRs and did a bump before going on stage for like our final preview. And the director being like, that's her. That's the character. You found it. Like, oh, yes, keep doing that. And I was just like, you got it. And so every show I'd drink a beer or 2, do a bump, and then go on stage and slay the regional production of American Idiot. It was a really fun show, but that was kind of like, you know, I was 22, and that was where things started to really plummet. Daily drinking, daily using, and burning bridges, cheating, lying, stealing, just the classic tale of like the quick rock bottom.
Yeah.
I lost so many friends. I cheated on a bunch of people. I was very, I was like a certified like fuck boy, and with all genders. Like I was, you know, dating a boy but cheating with a girl, dating a girl but cheating with a boy, and it was just like, ugh, it was too much. And I was also like using alcohol and drugs to be able to like enjoy myself sexually with men, knowing I was like fully gay.
Well, it's like a self-punishment thing. That's so
self-harm,
common.
yeah. It's like a emotional cutting, almost. And then I just hit a really low bottom, like spiritually and emotionally. I knew I had a problem with alcohol. I knew it was never chill. It was never chill when I was drunk. And so I started doing the like modification thing and like setting those boundaries and like morals, like I'll never drink alone, or I'll never drink during the day, or I'll never, you know, drink before I have to do a show again, and like breaking all of those morals and those boundaries that I had set for myself. Certain substances that I said I would never do, smoking crack, you know, like, and I was faced with like a kind of like I stood at the precipice, and I was like, I can either like keep doing this and keep like slowly killing myself and hating my life and losing all my friends and never being happy in a relationship, or I can get help. And there was a night where I kind of like looked in the mirror, hated the girl in the mirror, was like, who is this? Like, this is not what your ancestors and even like me as a kid like would have wanted for myself. Like I was supposed to be, go from child star to like, consistently working actor and musician. And I had some kind of version of that, but I wasn't happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked in the mirror, I was like, girl, like, get help. You need help. And then I started questioning whether I go to rehab or whatever, but I didn't want to freak out my parents because somehow, like, they didn't know that I was, like, a fucking crackhead. And I ended up booking this job in LA. And so I was like, oh, perfect. LA is where people go to, like, get healthy. And I thought...
On paper.
Yeah, on paper.
Yeah.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
If, like, Botox and, like, $30... what is it? Gwyneth Paltrow smoothies, like
oh my god, I got beef with Gwen. Anytime she posts anything, I'm like, oh, she's pro Anna and open about it, brave.
Pro Anna. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh my god, the pro Anna Tumblr days, like that was kind of my vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean, listen, I struggle from like a lot of cross addiction too, with like relationships, food, lack thereof, money stuff. I never gambled, but the other day I had a thought of like, wait, like what if I like went to Atlantic City and just like struck big, And
It's so funny.
well, like this girl I have a crush on has been going to casinos a lot, just like for fun and like winning a lot of money. And I'm like, wait, that's all it takes? But I know for me, like God would just be like, bitch, LOL.
Yeah.
No, you're going to lose money.
The only box you haven't hit yet. That's the same way. I was talking to someone about this where I'm like, yeah, self-harm, like codependency, sex and love, eating disorders. I'm like, the only one I haven't tried is gambling. And I shouldn't do that. Like, I just know I shouldn't. Yeah.
I did one slot machine in Vegas when I was there with like all my friends last summer for what would have been my bachelorette party, but that ended up getting canceled. And we just like went to go see Dead & Co. And I did one slot machine, lost $20. And I was like, I'm good.
I'm out. Yeah.
And we're done. But yeah, I moved to LA. A couple weeks into this job, I like overheard one of the other girls in the show say something along the lines of, yeah, I don't really drink because it shows up on camera. I was like, oh shit. And I stopped. I fucking remember the moment it was a very like cycle closing moment where I was having a glass of champagne with my castmates, very similar to my first drink. And I felt this voice like in my gut. And I know that's God now, but like at the time I was like, what is happening? Yeah. And I felt this voice being like, this is your last drink. And I was just like, okay. And it was. And I haven't picked up a drink since. But yeah, again, like the drugs took a little while longer to quit. I started, going to meetings and stuff because I had a lot of friends that had been saving me a seat, as it were, who recommended certain meetings to me, certain programs. I actually started in like love and dating, like recovery first, because I felt that was like the area that I was suffering the most. I was like in a poly throuple and like with a married couple and got really, really messy, as those situations tend to do.
I feel like I don't know anyone who long-term is like, this has been awesome. Like, I feel like every person I know.
Like happy poly people, I'm like, what's the secret and which one of you likes it less?
Yeah.
Which one of you actually doesn't want to be poly?
Yeah, who's not saying something?
Who's not telling the truth?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the throuple situation and a couple of like run-ins with like some... yeah, like assault situations that were like not at all my fault. And yeah, it's just like, I think I have like a serious issue around like my self-worth and my self-esteem when it comes to relationships, dating, and sex. And so I turned to that first. And within my first like couple meetings of SLAW, the people in that room were like, you need to go to like AA. And I had like 3 months of sobriety at that point, and I was just like, yeah, probably. And so I found like immediate relief, like from 12-step, man. Like I mean, and I've dipped my toes in many fellowships. AA is always kind of like that girl for me because it's just like the most joy.
Yeah.
I was in a meeting this morning and like woke up with like a migraine from resentment, gritting my teeth because people around me are having career wins that I'm like, when's it gonna be my turn? And I live in a house of sober people, and like a couple of us like all went to the meeting together, and I immediately like felt like the sense almost that the feeling that the first drink gave, like of like, yes, and I can be okay now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does miracles for me. That's why I'm able to like not have a therapist right now. I mean, I need a fucking therapist, but I in the interim have a lot of community, a lot of support, both in like sobriety and also with the line dancing and my like close circle of friends, my close friend story on Instagram, which is like 70 lesbians like that I love, and gay guys that I love dearly and consider to be family. And then my actual family too is great, but I am the only one that's sober. So, it's nice to have like actual sober people in my life that I can lean on when I feel like I want to pick up, which is often right now. Lately it's been bleak. I've had a rough year. I ended an engagement. My mom passed away. And I honestly don't know how I'm still sober or alive. But thank God that I have the time that I do, because if this had happened any sooner, I don't know if I would be here
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And that's like, there's a lot of AA can be good at supporting us. Like, and that's why I always say, I'm like, do the work while things are good or while things are like stable. Cause then when shit hits the fan,
Yeah.
like that's who
Prayer
you
and,
need to fall
and, and
back on.
meditation and all your tools, like do those for sure when you're struggling, but keep doing them when you're out of the valley. Like do
Yeah.
them when you're on the top of the mountain, as well. I find it a lot easier to be in deep gratitude and prayer and enjoy meditation when things are going well for me. Because I'm like, I don't know, like I booked a pilot this year and I like filmed this TV show, and every day before going to set, I was just like, God is good.
Yeah.
But, the second that job is over, I crash so hard and I'm like so depressed. It's like true what they say, like post-show depression is so real. And I've experienced that ever since I started acting, where I feel like I have no will to live or no reason to like be alive after I wrap a project. That I just have to like chase the next one. And it's similar to the way that I used to chase drugs and that next drunk and that next high,
And that's what I was curious about too, because especially like you see so much stuff, I think now more than ever too, about like child acting and the way that like that plays out into the rest of your life. Because
Yep.
it's like having that young little malleable mind and being like, here, deal with this. And it's like, I don't know how to process that, like that sense of self-worth, especially as like a sensitive, like overly analytical child and like self-critical. I was very much like that, where I'm like looking in the mirror and I'm like, you're ugly. My mom's like, you're 7. Like, take it down a notch.
Yeah. I mean, and I still, the whole School of Rock thing, it gave me such a big ego because it was my first audition. I had never auditioned for any acting, anything.
Oh, then of course.
At all.
Yeah.
And I booked it on the first audition. I went in for like a series of callbacks and, talked to people on the phone. But to book that gig, that scale on your first audition and then have crickets for like years after because of the way you look, which is what happened to me. Like I went in for every Disney Nickelodeon project, a bunch of movies that, became huge successes as well. Like I was called back for Hannah Montana several times, and, they went the nepotism route, which is beautiful and great. My mom never forgave Miley Cyrus and like took that with her to the grave. But I love Miley Cyrus. I think she's amazing and I love her music. But yeah, it just gave me a built-in resentment towards myself, towards the industry. Every time I go around to do the steps again and I hit that that inventory, the first thing I write down is all of my poisonous feelings about the industry that I'm in, both industries, music and acting. And I just like, I have to just let it go because it literally kills me to be thinking such toxic things about and like vitriolic, like homicidal thoughts about like people, places, and things around the industry that it just completely steals the joy from it. The reason I do it is because it's a cathartic thing that heals me and also helps other people. I mean, you know, I've recently been releasing music and getting DMs from people being like, wow, like that song spoke to me, or that thing that you wrote on Instagram spoke to me, or that short film that you wrote and starred in spoke to me and helped me a lot. And that's why I do it, not for the like free Glossier backstage or like, you know, not for the, you know, the money. Money would be nice, but it's literally just for the like, I want to put good art out there that like helps other people and that people can relate to and go, yes, I have that. But yeah, I have to really be in a constant state of surrender. And like, I hate this term, but like, God's my employer, God's my agent, God's my manager, God's my PR.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Do you see my fists?
Yeah.
My
Even
little
the way,
lobster
like,
claws.
the tone, you're like, God's my man. Like, I get it.
But, you know, I have to say it until I believe it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing where, like, you know, you're supposed to pray for the people that you fucking hate and resent so badly. And whether that's through gritted teeth or through actual, like, earnest wishing them well. Like, I can pray for somebody, like, I hope they have the best day ever. Mm-hmm. Or I can be like, I genuinely want whatever I want for myself to happen to them too. A prayer is a prayer.
And it works too, which I was so pissed about. I was like, this is stupid. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, would I have to say this prayer every day for 2 weeks to get rid of this resentment for this person? Mm-hmm. And then, like, not even 2 weeks in, I'm like, I actually love this person.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, they're sick and suffering. And, like, I really hope they get well.
Yeah. Get well soon, babe.
Yeah. Get well soon. Jealousy is a disease.
Get well soon, babe.
Bitch. Yeah.
Diva.
Do you struggle with overexposure at all? Like, feeling like if you are, like, in this industry, like, people are, like, watching your content, people are looking at you. Like, is there any, like, cognitive dissonance or, like, depersonalization that happens there?
I am starting to get that a lot more lately, especially, like, with my audience starting to be mostly queer women. And, like, there's this, like, level of, like, parasocial, like, fake closeness where people feel like they know me, but they actually don't. Like, actually, only the 70 lesbians and gay people in my close friends story know me. And even them don't feel like they actually know me that well. Sometimes. And so sometimes I'll have folks like come up to me in public and be like, Rivkah, and I'm struggling in my mind to figure out where I know them from. Mm-hmm. And it's a fan. And they'll be like, yeah, like, I love your content. It's so good to meet you. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Like, I did not. I was trying to figure out if you, like, come to my line dancing class or if you're, like, a friend from high school or something. And I just, like, blocked it out. And they're like, no, just a big fan. I'm like, okay. But then I'm, like, judging myself and constantly kind of back in this self-analytical place of like, and I'm also a Leo sun and an Aries moon and a Scorpio rising. So there's this like level of curation. Like I have a very curated presence on the phone and like on the podcasts and in public. And then the like deep, like wounded, like artist and like addict and everything comes out like in my closer relationships. But then I'm also the eldest daughter. So I like have this like duty to like take care of my family. And there's a lot going on.
It was very like Mulan coded.
Deeply Mulan coded. And Mulan was very queer coded too. Kind of trans, low-key, which is beautiful. Yeah. Who is that girl I see staring straight back at me?
I watched that movie recently and I cried. It was like in just that
I
part. And
never don't cry when I watch
yeah.
Mulan. That one, yeah, that movie gets me good every time. I'm also like half Asian, so like it hits. It hits in a really heavy way. Oh
And then
God.
also with the self-analytical, I would imagine like being biracial too. Like that also can contribute to that to a certain
A
extent.
little for sure. I mean, yeah, there is the like classic, stereotype of like you have to get good grades, but uh, honestly, my mom didn't care as much about my grades, like
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of sick. Like she encouraged me more than anything to follow my creative journey and like express myself however I wanted to. So whether that was me doing music, acting, dance, theater, film, whatever, she was always 100% supportive, 1,000,000% supportive of it. Like she was my biggest cheerleader. And so, yeah, I don't know. Like she died a couple months ago. Um, and it's all very heavy. I wrote down in my journal the other day, like I feel like all of my mom's hopes and dreams for me died with her. And I'm like, wait a second, like that's not true because I still have those dreams. Like I don't know where that came from. It came from like a deep, dark place. Do you ever, when you're journaling, like something really ugly like comes out of the pen and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, that's especially I have journals that like from when I was 14 to when I was 16, and there's a lot of like really objectively like horrifying and scary things in there where I'm like, "Oh my God, existing like thinking that way or that being my truth, like
And
what
you're
I
like
believed."
14.
Yeah, what I believe to be true.
A lot of my journals from not that era, but from like right before I stopped
Mm-hmm.
using, like from 21 years old to like 24. It was just like a cry for help.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, honestly, it felt like I was writing them just in case I died and somebody found it, and like I wanted these bitches to know that I was not well.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Wow. Um, and lately, it's just been a lot of, yeah, like I have the tools. I've not experienced this level of grief before. I mean, my mom was like my hero and my best friend, and at times my worst enemy. And through the program and through sobriety, I got to make amends to her and restore our relationship to sanity and really just love her through her illness and through her surgeries and up until she passed. But like, yeah, my astrologer the other day said to me, yeah, you learn how to live with a hole in your heart. And I'm like, well, I already have a hole in my heart. It's a God-sized hole. So what? I just put the mom-sized hole next to the God-sized one, and what do I fill them with?
Yeah.
And she's like,
It's
that's
not enough surface area.
kind of for you to figure out, Riv.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit. What do I fill them with?
Have you seen Fleabag?
I have, but I watched it all. Like I used to be a TV snorter, where I would just like watch one show in one day,
I've done that,
and
yeah.
just like binge because I can't do anything without it becoming like junkie level addiction.
I understand.
Yeah, and like I went to the Dickies store yesterday in Gramercy, and I bought this pair of pants, and then like today I woke up being like I should go back and get 10 more. Um, but yeah.
There's a nice sentiment about grief in it, which I think about a lot whenever I have like something happen.
What is it?
They talk about where it's like the first season largely revolves around
Her
her
losing her
friend,
friend.
yeah, passing away. And she's like, I have all of this love for her. I don't know what to do with it. It's hers. I can't give it to someone else. And now it's just stuck with me. And yeah, I know. And because I think about where it's like, this belongs to you. I can't give this to anybody else. And in a way, it's special. I get to hold on to that and hold on to it, but
Yeah.
it doesn't make it any less heavy.
Yeah. I have a lot of love to give. I love so, so deeply and so, so intensely. And it like, I mean, aside from my ex-fiance who also had addiction, issues, it has scared everyone away. like of my relationships. And I'm like, I'm still actively going to, the love fellowships, like to figure it out now that I'm like very comfortable in my like my queerness, my sexuality, my gender and lack thereof here and there. Like it's giving she they, but I don't actually really give a fuck. And that is how I identify. But like now that I kind of have a clearer idea of what I want my romantic relationships to look like, I'm not necessarily like seeking it out, but when crushes come, I'm immediately like, and you're never leaving my side.
I want to covet.
And I must have you forever and ever. I also identify as a people snorter, like where if I like somebody, I want to chop them up into a bunch of lines and snort them till they're gone, And like, yeah, like I'm instead of doing that, kind of putting it into my art, putting it into my music, which very heavily deals with like addictive relationships, like comparing people to drugs and like almost this level of I would say, yeah, like pining after a person the same way that I would pine after Coke.
Well, yeah, like having it, yeah, there are a lot of like Coke specific comparisons in there too. But I was saying this to you before, but like a lot of the music immediately gives me flashbacks to dark moments in my life or like dark relationships in my life where I'm like, oh, this was a relationship that was just fueled by like self-punishment or something. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Good. That's what I want.
Yeah. Well, I'm a big person on like, I had a coworker get in my car and she's like, I want to hang myself when you have like your music on. And I'm like, I don't know.
That's a compliment.
I know, but
in my opinion,
I'm like, why am I so depressed all the time? Then I like go back through what I'm listening to, and I'm like, just Mitski. Like,
it is a manifestation. Yeah. I mean, it's like a manifestation thing. Like when I find myself listening to a lot of like, I love these artists, but like SZA, like the situationship girlies is when I find myself in situationships with like people who ultimately don't deserve me. And then when I like pivot into listening to more like Yas Queen music, like, I will say like the song Soulmate by Lizzo, like is one of my like go-to, like get ready for a date songs because it's like at the end of the day, I am my soulmate. Like, and I think that's like a big thing that like recovery in the relationship programs has given me because I've been in SLA longer than AA, and I have really grown to love myself. Like one of the tools of that program is top lines. You like write down a list of yummy things that you can do that don't involve you fucking somebody else or like going on the apps and like swiping and doom scrolling on your Instagram, on your ex's Instagram or your ex's current girlfriend's Instagram, which is something that I, stay away from because it poisons me, right?
Yeah, it doesn't feel good.
And looking at to see if my crush has seen my story and liked it. Like I saw this like reel the other day on Instagram of a girl being like, I'm just like, I'm really on edge, and then being like, actually, everything is great. And it's like the caption is like, your crush just liked your Instagram story.
Yeah, living or dying by that.
Yeah. Like my higher power being like the look on somebody else's face. Like my higher power being whether the girl I have a crush on has like hearted my story, which like isn't even like a good, like it's like nothing of note. Just a picture of me in the mirror.
Yeah, I do that to like literally everybody. I'm like, I don't know you, but I like that cat. Like, yeah, I'll throw a like on there.
I'm very methodical with my Instagram story likes, I will say. But yeah, that it also has to do with a little bit of the parasocial stuff because like I don't know.
Have to, yeah.
You have to be careful out here. I don't want to lead anybody on, but yeah, the top lines, these can be things like line dancing for me is a huge one, going to the gym, picking up a new hobby. Like some people love to go to pottery classes for some reason, hanging out with their pets, going to like a horse ranch to ride a horse or like, but then other little things like cooking a meal for myself, putting on a new outfit or like going through my closet and being like, oh, I never thought to put that pair of pants with that sweater, that would make a really cool outfit. And playing dress up in my own house, things that I used to do as a kid that made me happy, that make me feel the sense of like joy that I can do by myself or with like platonic friends. And really spent a lot of time celibate, spent a lot of time not on the dating apps. I'm actually still not on dating apps. In my 7.5 years of sobriety, I've been back on the apps twice, and
That's
nothing ever came of it.
impressive.
Nothing ever came of it.
Well, yeah, nothing ever does. It doesn't
Yeah.
like, it's just kind of, I feel like sometimes in the past I would download it just to be like, do you like me?
Yeah, just
Am
to
I
be like what's on
attractive?
there,
Yeah.
but it's never anything I want that's on there.
I know,
Like
yeah.
in Raya, I was on Raya for a little while, basically just to like, see what other like blue check marks were checking me out.
Yeah.
And it was like nobody I really cared about.
Yeah.
No offense.
Yeah.
And some of them are my friends now, which is like cool. Like Raya, more than anything, I've used as like a networking app, but like I don't need a networking app. I can just like go host my parties and go to other people's events and meet people in person. But yeah, like I had a little Hinge binge last summer. I have never been back on Tinder since I got sober, which like that was before I stopped using. I would go on Tinder benders and like just be like dee 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 dee, and like non-intentionally like ended up basically with a different person in my bed every night for like a year.
I got banned from Tinder.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
No, I can't say I've ever been banned off a dating app, but like that's hot actually.
Yeah.
That's like that should go on your LinkedIn.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyone I work with,
Banned from
comment
Tinder.
down below. Let me know if I should add that to my LinkedIn. So do you have a timeline for when your album's coming out? Because you're working on an album right now.
I'm working on an album. I'm hoping to release it next summer. It's like sapphic yearning bangers, indie rock, a little bit dreamy bedroom poppy vibes in there too. And we're recording it now. We're like in the
exciting.
process. We're in the thick of it. I'm working with an amazing team and just getting it all together for everyone, and I hope you like it, and I hope people care about it. I have this like weird thing where with my first 3 singles, like it didn't do as well as I wanted it to, and so I'm just like, well, I'm not gonna put anything out then, like fuck you guys. But I actually have to put stuff out or it will kill me to just keep all this poetry and like art inside me.
Well, yeah, especially it's like a bite your nose to
Lana
spite your
coded of
face
me,
kind of thing.
to
Yeah,
say.
yeah, very.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you hit your vape during the song at one point when you're recording, and then you can like hear the crackle.
Oh yeah.
It's deeply Lana.
I love her for that.
I
She
know, I
is
think it's
so
so
iconic.
funny.
I love Lana so much.
My mom used to say when I was 14 that I was depressed because I listened to so much Lana Del Rey. Because I was like deep in that space. I was like when video games like blew up.
Yeah.
And she was like, "This is why." I'm like, I think it's a chemistry thing. I don't think. But
There's a lot going on.
yeah, there are multiple. It wasn't helping.
Tumblr, Lana,
It's bad.
drugs,
Yeah.
all of the above.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Massive threat. But all right. Yeah. So if anyone wants to check out like line dancing or your music or you, like, is there a place it's best to find you and what you're up to?
Instagram and TikTok, baby. I am chronically online. I am addicted to my phone. I want to throw it on the train tracks. But before I do that, go and follow me at Rivkah, Rivkah.Reyes, Reyes on Instagram and TikTok. My line dancing page is at Buckwildline on Instagram. And that's the name of my party too. Buckwild is every Sunday. And Baby Buck, which is our beginners class, is on Wednesdays.
That's cute.
Yeah, Baby Buck is so fun. I love it so much because it's like, it's basically, I'm carrying the message to the newcomers. Like last night we had a Baby Buck party and it was like kind of Halloween because the bar is now decorated with like spider webs everywhere. And I just like looked over my shoulder and saw everybody dancing and smiling. I was just like, we did this. Like me and my friend created this, like, and have this community that like love us and love dancing, and we get to we get to teach them new stuff, and it's so fun. And line dancing is very similar. Like you're just doing the steps.
Literally
Just doing the steps. Learn the steps, do the steps, teach the steps to another person.
practice the principles in all your affairs.
Keep coming back.
Period.
It works if you work it, stay.
It's not odd, it's God. That's what I was thinking. When
Yeah,
you're
we
like,
just,
I felt
do,
it in
like,
my
a-
gut. I was like, it's not gas, it's God. But
Whoa, it's not gas, it's God.
yeah, write that down, somebody. Paul, write that down. All right, sweet. Thank you for coming. This
Thank
has been
you
a
for
joy,
having me.
and I'm excited for when your album comes out.
Me too.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Follow along on any place you can get your podcast. We're kind of everywhere and inescapable. So I'll see you next week.
If you or a loved one is struggling with addiction, Mountainside can help. Call 860-365-6764 to speak with our caring treatment team.